Hello and welcome back to the world of the spirit consciousness. This is a book study session on the astral body and other astral phenomena authored by AE Pell. We are in the first module discussing the general description. We have included a special section over here called the Astral Elemental Essence. This has been drawn from various chapters through the book. This session is being conducted by myself, Ashish Agarwal, and I have been assisted by Ms. Riddhi Shah in my efforts. A quick foreword. So, a reading and analysis of the astral body shows pervasiveness and significant importance of elemental essence. However, there is no separate chapter or prior explanation dedicated to elemental essence. The first detailed introduction of elemental essence in this book is found in chapter 20 of the book, and chapters 2 till 19 refer to elemental essence in some form or other. So we felt readers would appreciate the wonderful work of Arthur Powell much better by organizing the information on elemental essence into a separate section. Hence, in this video, we have pieced together most of the information pertaining to elemental essence to make it a single body of knowledge. We hope that applying this knowledge in subsequent sections will then be easier. Most of the contents in this section are drawn from chapter number 20, which deals with astral entities, non-human, and chapter 12, which is death and the desire elemental. Given the importance of these topics and of elemental essence itself, we have chosen to err on the side of repetition rather than omission. So, the outline of this video would be introduction, the evolutionary path of the elemental essence, astral elemental essence, the appearance, classification and types, and role in various phenomena, its behavior and relationship with humans, how it has no intellect of its own, it's a very important characteristic to remember, and how do you harness the power of elemental essence. Coming to the introduction, the term elemental is utilized by several writers to denote various meanings. Here it means the monadic essence during a specific stage of existence, which in turn can be called the flow of divine force or the spirit into matter. Notably, the students must understand that this elemental essence is evolving in the downward curve of the arc as is commonly known. This means it is moving in the direction of getting completely entangled with the matter of mineral kingdom instead of moving away from it. As a result, the progress of elemental essence is synonymous with its descent into matter rather than ascent towards the higher planes. So let us see what the evolutionary path of the elemental essence is like. So this descent of spirit into matter, as discussed in the previous section, may also be referred as the outpouring. The outpouring passes through and fills up six earlier stages of evolution before reaching the stage of individualization. At this stage, it ensouls a person. The six stages of evolution prior to individualization are the first elemental kingdom in the higher mental world, the second elemental kingdom in the lower mental world, the third elemental kingdom in the astral world, the mineral kingdom, which is the fourth one, the vegetable, which is the fifth one, and the animal kingdom, which is the sixth kingdom. After this, it ensouls a person. So at times, the elemental essence is called the animal, the vegetable, or the mineral monad, but this is absolutely misleading. This is because when it reaches any of those kingdoms, it becomes many monads and not just one. For the elemental, evolution means descending into matter. Its motive is to get as close as possible to the physical and to feel as many coarser vibrations as possible. Its goal is to become a mineral monad. It has no intuition, foresight, or reasoning, and it looks for its own wishes and shows a lot of ingenuity in achieving what it wants and advancing its evolution, which is towards becoming a mineral monad. So now let us see what the astral elemental essence is about. So our subject of concern over here is the astral elemental essence, and this essence is a combination of the divine outpouring which has previously surrounded itself in matter right till the atomic level of the mental plane, and which then descends into the astral world directly collecting a body of atomic astral matter around itself. This combination is the astral plane's elemental essence and comes from the third mineral kingdom, which is immediately followed by the mineral kingdom. The elemental essence undergoes 2401 changes in its journey in the astral plane. In this journey, it gathers around itself many combinations of matter from many subplanes. However, this matter doesn't last permanently and is actually just one kingdom. This forms a key constituent of the astral plane. It is present in huge masses. It forms shapes which form and disappear, and it is found in several hundreds of varieties on every subplane, like the air could be seen in constant swirls of changing colors, very much like the mother of pearl. In appearance, so although it is rare, but for some moments, any part of the elemental essence is not under external impact, it does not have its own fixed shape. What it means over here is uh, at any given point of time, it will always have some kind of external impact, and that will dictate its shape. For that rare moment when there is no external impact, you will find that it has no fixed shape of its own. Upon the tiniest disturbance, it becomes a mind-boggling chaos of agitated and rapidly changing shapes. These shapes form, rush haphazardly, and vanish as fast as bubbles on the surface of boiling water. The fleeting shapes appear to have distinct shapes, usually of some kind of living creatures, which could be human or otherwise. However, there are some which are as distinct as various waves in water which are raised due to a sudden gust of wind. These shapes are possibly only reflections from the oceans of astral light, but they often resemble the character whose thought streams activates them. Almost always, this resemblance is a scary, disfigured characteristic of the thought stream. So, in the literal sense, the term an elemental doesn't exist related to the group that we are discussing. What exists is an abundance of elemental essence, which is amazingly sensitive to even a passing human thought, and it responds with unimaginable finesse in the tiniest fraction of a second to a vibration initiated by a completely unconscious human wish or intention. From the moment the impact of a thought is sculpted into a living force, it turns into an elemental and falls under the artificial class which will be described in detail in a subsequent module. The elemental's lone existence is generally short term, even then, because the moment the impulse is complete, it once again becomes a floating mass of elemental essence from which it has arrived. People usually allow involuntary thoughts to flow into their brain, and the elemental essence reacts to these thoughts. So, coming to the classification and types of astral elemental essence. So, in a broader sense, the elemental essence can be categorized based on the matter it occupies. Let us call them the horizontal divisions of elemental essence. So, these are the seven states of matter as discussed earlier, like solid, liquid, gaseous, etc. This elemental essence were the elementals of the medieval alchemists. These alchemists rightly believed that an element, part of the relevant living elemental essence, was deep rooted in every element, which is the integral part of every physical substance. And then, besides these horizontal divisions, there are seven different types of elemental essence. The difference between the seven kinds of elemental essence and the horizontal divisions is related to character and resemblance rather than the degree of materiality. Let us call these divisions as vertical divisions. The student may or may not heard of this classification as the perpendicular one or the one related to the seven rays. The seven main classes of elemental essence are further subdivided into seven subdivisions each, hence a total of 49 subdivisions. Each ray type also has seven subdivisions, which makes 49 perpendicular or the vertical subdivisions. So if I have to illustrate this with an example, let us consider this as the entire plane. There are seven broad grades of matter, which may be subdivided into seven each. So all put together, it is 49. Likewise, you will have 7 rays or the 7 types of elemental essence, which are also subdivided into 7 subtypes each. Together, this is again 49 subdivisions. So hence, the total kinds of elemental essence are 49 into 49, which is equal to 2401 different types of elemental essence. The perpendicular division is evidently much more permanent and important than the horizontal division. This is because in the slow process of evolution, the elemental essence passes through several horizontal classes one after the other. It, however, stays in its own perpendicular subdivision at all times. So let me just explain this. So consider this as the universe again, and these are the 7 grades of matter, the horizontal lines. So what this says is that, let's say this is solid and this is atomic, subatomic. So every elemental essence will necessarily pass through each of these 7 grades. But when I'm looking at it in terms of vertical divisions, you will not have the elemental essence passing across these. This will not happen. So within the same type, you will find the elemental essence moving. So now let us see what role does the astral elemental essence have in the various phenomena. So it has a role in forming the hell for a vivisectionist. Now a vivisectionist is a person who does experiments on various animals by cutting them up. So it's a little, yeah. So this particular explanation is coming from the chapter dealing with after death astral life. So it says a vivisectionist lives in his own hell. Now this hell consists of many mutilated forms which are howling, quivering, and moaning, awakened by the elemental life which throbs with hatred towards him. So this is not by the animal souls, but by the elemental life which have a hatred towards him. So this elemental life automatically repeats the vivisectionist's worst experiments, aware of their horror, but habituated to the self-torture during the earth life. It also has a role, the astral elemental essence, in natural talismans. So this particular explanation comes from the factors impacting the astral body, which is from the physical life section of chapter of the astral body. So the impact of a natural talisman draws a specific type of elemental essence, which is a natural substance of expression of certain types of thoughts and desires. The innate quality of the substance makes it helpful to provide magnetism aligned with the desired thoughts and emotions. For example, to create a talisman for purity, a stone should be utilized whose natural vibrations are inimical to vibrations of impure thoughts. Even though The stone is made up of physical particles. It is in harmony with a purity similar to those of higher levels. Therefore, without being charged, they can still prevent impure thoughts due to its overtones. Also, the stone can be easily charged with pure thoughts and feelings in harmony at the astral and mental level. Now, this also has a role in thought forms. So, there are simple thought forms which are made of mental matter. The result is it's a part of vibration, which is a result of a part of vibration thrown off by the mental body into a shape of the nature of the thought. This vibration collects around itself fine matter from nearby elemental essence in the mental plane. The finer types of matter, where directed by a strong and steady will, can create powerful and energetic thought forms. Hence, thought forms are made of elemental essence and energized by thoughts. So let me just put this into an equation. Thought forms are made up of elemental essence and they are energized by thoughts. So now the behavior and relationship with humans. So an astral traveler will surely be affected by the ever-changing forms of the non-stop elemental essence constantly hovering around him or her, and they are often very troublesome. However, the elemental essence always withdraws by an effort of will by the traveler. The individual will be surprised to find that a vast number of these entities get created temporarily due to thoughts and feelings of humans. These thoughts and feelings can be good or bad. The elemental kingdoms itself doesn't have any concept such as good or bad. Yet, a kind of bias pervades these subdivisions which make them ill disposed towards humans. This explains the general experience of newcomers on the astral plane. At first, an army of shape-changing figures move towards him or her, but if faced without fear, they harmlessly withdraw and then they disappear. According to medieval writers, this bias is a person's own fault, caused as a result of being hostile towards living creatures and a lack of sympathy towards them. This did not happen in the Golden Age, nor will it happen in the future when people will bring about a changed attitude. The changed attitude shall induce harmony between humankind and the elemental essence and the animal kingdom. The latter will once again become helpful to humans instead of the opposite. Evidently, the elemental kingdom as a whole is how we humans collectively perceive it to be. So, the elemental essence also forms part of a man's astral body. Astral matter from the astral plane is present in man's astral body. Along with this, elemental essence of the astral plane also forms part of the man's astral body. So if I have to look at it, the astral body of a man is equal to the astral matter of the astral plane plus elemental essence of the astral plane. So this forms what is called as the desire elemental. This desire elemental will be discussed in much greater detail in a later section of this same module. So now we will see how it has no intellect of its own. So we had seen earlier that the elemental essence reacts to people's thoughts. Hence, the intelligence for changing the shape of elemental essence is neither obtained from the thinker nor the elemental essence itself. The elemental essence belongs to a kingdom which is very far from individualization, even more than the mineral kingdom is. So if I can just depict this with a small illustration. So let's suppose this is from where the outpouring happens. So in the first kingdom, this is at one plane, the first kingdom, which is the higher mental, the lower mental, the astral plane, which is the third kingdom, forming the astral elemental essence. From here, it comes into the mineral kingdom. From here, it goes into the vegetable kingdom, animal kingdom, and then enters the, it becomes a human soul, individualized as we call it. So intelligence would start developing somewhere over here, and at the astral plane, the astral elemental essence is somewhere over here. So therefore we see it is exceedingly far from individualization. Hence, it has no awakened mental power. The elemental essence, however, adjusts excellently, which can come quite close to intelligence. Undoubtedly, this aspect of it is why the elementals are referred to as the semi-intelligent creatures of the astral light in the ancient books. Finally, coming to harnessing the power of elemental essence. So the innate forces of the several types of elemental essence can be put to various uses by someone trained to do so. Most of the magical ceremonies rely almost completely on how they are employed. It is either by the direct will of the magician or by a more distinct astral being evoked by him or her with this objective. The physical phenomena which occur in the seance room and the doer in majority of cases of stone throwing or the bell ringing in haunted houses are results of the faulty attempts to attract attention. These goofy attempts are made by some earthbound human being or some mischief or the third class of some of the minor nature spirits. However, the elemental is only a dormant force which requires external power to get it moving and should not be mistaken as a doer of such occurrences. So with this we come to an end to the astral elemental essence. Our next video we will be discussing the most fascinating topic of the desire elemental. Stay tuned.